For the last quarter of a century, the world reaped the incredible benefits of globalization. We got used to cheap goods, instant shipping, and a connected global marketplace. But that system is now fracturing before our very eyes. Trade wars are no longer a distant threat. They are our new reality. Have you ever wondered what the real geopolitical secret is behind the soaring inflation that's emptying your wallet, or why the supply chains we once took for granted are suddenly locked up? The answer is that superpowers are weaponizing trade, and every single one of us is paying the price. Today, we're going to decode the invisible line that is splitting the global economy in two, and reveal how this new world order will impact your future. Economists have a term for this new era: Geo-Economic Fragmentation. It sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. For decades, the most important question in business was, where can we make this for the lowest cost? That single-minded focus on efficiency is what gave us globalization. But today, the question has changed. Now it's, who can we trust to make this securely? The world is reorganizing itself into two major blocks, one led by the United States and the other by China. Each side is frantically trying to build its own independent supply chain, a fortress of economic self-reliance. Think of it as a new Cold War, a Cold War 2.0. But this time, the battles aren't being fought with tanks and missiles on a muddy field. The weapons of this war are far more subtle, yet just as powerful: semiconductor chips, barrels of oil, and tons of rare earth metals. In this new game, we are no longer searching for the cheapest product on the global market. Instead, we are desperately seeking the most reliable and politically aligned supplier. And this fundamental shift from cost to security is the engine driving up prices for everyone. So, how does this grand geopolitical chess match actually affect our daily lives? Let's break it down. The first, most immediate impact is one you're already feeling: high inflation and persistent scarcity. When you split a perfectly efficient global supply chain into two less efficient competing ones, production costs inevitably rise. For example, consider the microchip in your phone or car. For years, many of these were made cheaply in Asia. Now, as production shifts to more expensive Western countries to ensure security, the price of every single piece of technology is forced upward. It's not just about chips. Geopolitical tensions in an oil-producing country can cause gasoline prices to skyrocket almost overnight, because relying on a risky supplier is no longer an option. This inefficiency is a direct tax on our cost of living. The second major impact is a strategy called friendshoring. This is the corporate world's answer to geo-economic fragmentation. Companies are undertaking a massive, costly exodus from what they now consider risky territories, like China or Russia. They are relocating their factories and investments to politically friendly countries, such as Mexico, Vietnam, or Poland. In the long run, this strategy is designed to create more stable and secure supply chains, insulating them from geopolitical shocks. However, in the short term, this relocation process is incredibly expensive. We're talking about billions of dollars in new infrastructure, training, and logistical overhauls. This cost doesn't just disappear, it gets passed down the line. What this really means is that we are consciously giving up the low-cost benefits that globalization gave us for 3 decades, in exchange for a promise of future stability. The third impact is darker and more clandestine: a surge in economic espionage. These new trade wars aren't just about tariffs and prices. They're about controlling the future of technology. Each bloc is terrified of its most sensitive innovations, from artificial intelligence to quantum computing and biotechnology, falling into the hands of the rival bloc. To prevent this, states are pouring resources into economic spying operations and imposing incredibly strict export bans on critical technologies. This isn't a theoretical threat. It's an active, ongoing intelligence war being fought in boardrooms, laboratories, and server rooms around the world. The race to protect national secrets and gain a technological edge is adding another layer of distrust and fragmentation to the global economy, making international cooperation more difficult than ever. So what's the final verdict? The era of unfettered globalization, the world we have known for most of our adult lives, has officially come to an end. The next decade will be defined by the high prices we must pay for this new version of stability. As consumers, we have to prepare ourselves for a new normal of persistently higher costs for almost everything, and likely slower overall economic growth. The free lunch of globalization is over. Understanding the dynamics of this new economic war is not just an academic exercise. It is absolutely vital for making smart decisions about your personal investments, your career path, and your financial future. The world has changed, and navigating it requires a new map. If you also want to look beyond the headlines, decrypt the codes that run our system, and empower yourself to take control of your own life, make sure you subscribe to our channel, DecodedLog, right now. We'll see you in the next video.